Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy. And of course, joining me as always are my good friends and co-workers, Twilight is Magic and Mr. Ben, who unfortunately won't be here due to work today. But joining me in the first part is the one and only ToucanLDM.
Hello.
Are you ready to get started?
Yep, I'm ready when you're ready.
All right, let's do this then. Starting off with the news like we always do, My Little Investigations is back up. Or at least in theory, they sent out this update that they were alive and well earlier this week. There's a link for you.
Clicking on the link. Hmm.
I've been closely following them since they released episode 1 of their game. If you have not played it, go play it. And go play it now. Well, go play it after this, and then thank me later. Seriously, it's a fun game. Have you played it?
Uh, no, I haven't.
Again, when we're done here, go download it and go play it. You'll thank me later. It's a fun game. If you're a fan of Phoenix Wright games anyway.
Oh, is that kind of game? See, I'll be honest, I'm not really good when it comes to that kind of games.
Still, give them a try. It's free, so you have nothing to lose.
I'll take that in consideration. You gave me the link, so afterwards I'll have to check that out and see if I'm good or terrible at it.
Also in the news, and a bit of a different one, I'll say. Comixology is running a sale. 50% off all MLP comics, save for the annuals and the latest Fiendship is Magic ones. So, here's that for you.
All right, take a look.
So, here's the link to the comics that are on sale. You can get the trades, which compose all of like a whole volume of them, like the two I've been showing as of late. Or you can, of course, get the individual comics themselves, the individual issues in digital format.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't really get a chance to read any of these comics.
Hey, you can always stop by. We're going through them right now.
Hmm.
And
I'm sorry, what?
if anything, now's a good chance to at least try one.
I guess I could. Again, I'll take that into consideration, but I don't really have much time to do any sort of reading when it comes to like comics or books.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, I'll take that into consideration. Maybe, yeah, I'll take that into consideration as well.
The sale runs until the 7th of May. So you still have about 4 days to decide, everyone. If you want, go out there and check them out.
Hmm.
In the meantime, let's move on. Speaking of the comics, and I'm going to get that out of the way while I'm here. Speaking of the comics, Fiendship is Magic number 5 is out. It's the Chrysalis comic, the one that focuses on her origin story more than anything. I haven't taken a look at any previews, so I won't give anything away. Not that that's unusual.
So this explains her backstory and where she came from and all that stuff?
Yep. The whole Fiendship is Magic series has been exploring that from the villains. It explores all of the villains thus far.
Who are the villains that explained so far?
Sombra was first, Tyrek was second, third was the Sirens, fourth was Nightmare Moon, and fifth is this one. It either explains a continuation of their story or the backstory of them. Like the Tyrek and Chrysalis one I know is a backstory, and the Sombra was a backstory, Tyrek was a backstory, Sirens were a backstory. So they're all backstories. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought some of them had some continuation to them, but there might be some continuation therein, but I know most of them, most of the story is going to be backstory and explaining.
that's good. I mean, I know like characters like Sombra needs a backstory, but
Mm-hmm.
should be. I think T-Rex would be more interesting because he's like my favorite villain of the show so far.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could ever get around of find that comic, I might have to like check it out.
Good deal.
Maybe Chrysalis. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm looking forward very much to Chrysalis's when I get the chance to get around to it. So that's this one's going to be on my priority list.
Nice. Can't go wrong with Chrysalis.
No. I think your Superman video is proof of that.
Oh yeah.
Two other little bits of news I need to state. Jay Haller has two pieces from this week that needs to be addressed. Ponies, the anthology number 5, chapter 5, is information on it, as he put it here. The trailer and the release date are given. The long story short, it's besides the release of it, he's just stating that it will premiere at BronyCon this year.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember when that day is, so if anyone wants to throw that in, feel free.
That's going to be very interesting.
Hopefully.
I haven't really watched too much of the anthology series. I think I've only seen the third one briefly, but that's the most I got out of that.
Not enough Half-Life 3 jokes in that one.
But yeah, that's going to be great for them. Showing it at BronyCon.
Mm-hmm. Nittany Discord says early August is when BronyCon is going to happen. So, end of the summer, basically. Okay.
Yep, that's cool.
All right. And last from Jay, his usual top 10 pony videos for the month. The voting is open and is open until the 7th.
So get voting, people. Even though not my, well, actually there was my special I did this month, but I doubt that's going to be on there because it's pretty short.
Yeah, you might be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when my bulk biceps for Super Bowl video was on that list. That's an honorable mention from that time. Do you remember that?
I remember that one. Dude, I've got your videos memorized. I'm such a huge fan of your work.
Oh, thank you.
That one was funny just because it's so believable.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been through a couple. I know a couple people who are like huge football fans, and the way that I had to experience that is like, oh boy, because I myself am not like a huge football fan, unless when it comes to like the Super Bowl or something. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really watch much of it aside from the Super Bowl, like I said. But that's mainly because of the commercials.
Which have really gone down in quality over the past few years, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, they are, especially this year's with that. What is it, State Farm commercial?
I didn't get a chance to watch the Super Bowl this year, so
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, never mind.
I know
Like,
I know the outcome of the game itself, but I didn't get any chance to see any good commercials.
right. I can't recall any ones that actually I liked, but I think the one from the last year I do remember like they did like a home watch for all like everything 80s. It's like a Verizon commercial. That one's pretty cool.
No, I don't think I remember that one.
Let me. Am I right to post a link to that if I can find it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me search for that.
I don't think I'm going to show it, but
Right.
um,
Yeah, you can watch it later.
yeah, okay. All right, and finally, we have our videos and art. So, Toucan, which do you
Yep.
want to do first, the art or the video?
Let's go with art first.
All right. Have two pieces here, a still image and a comic. Let's get the still image done with. This one, we have not seen an image from this guy in quite a long time, and I think I did post his last one, but it's still been a couple weeks since then, and I do want to show this one. This is Aspire by Vest. Here's the image for you.
Thank you.
Once again, Vest just comes along and says, you know what? I'm going to do some art today. Blink. And here it is.
Oh, that is awesome. Is that supposed to be like the Grand Canyon or something?
If anything, just a canyon or anything.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty sweet, especially how it's like a shape of her cutie mark.
Yep.
That is awesome. Good job, man.
What I loved about this one was that cutie mark in the background. I know that he's, Mr. Color and he's Mr. Color and whatnot. However, I do no, this one was completely done by him.
I gotta say, it's like sometimes I wonder how long it must have taken to make this.
I wonder
Like
too.
that's yeah. Sometimes I always question like these kind of like fan arts. Like how long would it usually take just to make one piece of art like that?
I'm guessing for him, if I recall right, it wasn't. It's not as long as you might think. You'd be surprised how fast they can actually go through these pieces, and it's just because they've been doing it for so long.
Right. I mean, they're so used to it and very skilled at that. I bet. But yeah, that is like really, really nice. Don't know what else to say. Sorry.
That's
Other
fine.
than it's awesome.
Hey, that's fine with me. I'm not an art master critiquer myself, so most of what I'm saying is just look at that. That's good. What is that? That's awesome. Stuff like that.
I'm that
But
way
I don't
too.
think that that's bad. In
Right.
fact, it begs the question of at what point does one cross the line of being an art critic and is just an otherwise regular person? Furthermore, what makes the art critic's opinion holier than thou's?
I mean, I'm no art critic, so I wouldn't know.
And that's my point is they're not special, or at least they're not gods is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Anyway, let's move on. Finally, in the comics, Double W Brothers Grief. This one I got a suggestion from, and I was going to put this one in anyway. Now, here, Toucan, what we do is, for comics, we read them.
All right.
So we have Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Scootaloo. Those are the speaking roles. Who do you want to voice, if you want to voice them?
Um, let's see. If I were to given a choice, I would probably pick Fluttershy. Can I have to pick one or more than one?
Pick as many as you want. Just leave me at least one to do.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Fluttershy, Scootaloo, and that's it. And then you're gonna be Rainbow Dash,
Rainbow Dash. So be prepared for my terrible voice acting.
that's all right. I mean, I'll admit my Fluttershy voice is kind of creepy.
Hey, that's fine. Creepy voice acting is a cornerstone of this show.
Okay. So, when do we begin?
Since you have Fluttershy, you start whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me just drink a quick water. Okay. Don't be sad. You still got us.
But Tank is so much cooler than you.
What? Cooler than me? Have you forgot about my tea parties?
It takes more than heavy metal and alcohol to make a tea party cool. And I would be the only one without a pet.
If you need a pet so much, take Scootaloo.
Do 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 do. Hey, this might work.
I can fly.
Ready for some action, Tank 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do I actually see Scoots attaching miniguns to her and doing just that?
Because she wants to be like Rainbow Dash, 20% cooler, because guns are cool. Well, not cool for kids, because kids shouldn't be playing with guns.
Bang, bang, patow, patow. Then there are those invisible guns. I love this one. Take Scootaloo. I know that joke was done to death by the time this episode got done with, but you know what? Let's be honest here, folks. That would have been funny to see.
It would have. Not gonna lie, it would have. Just to make Scootaloo happy. Even if it was being Rainbow Dash's pet, she will still be happy.
I'm getting some flashbacks to someone else. B linkers. Can't remember the one. Oh well. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Yep.
And last we have the video. I'm going to I'll mute the stream here very shortly, Toucan, but I'll give you the link before we do.
All right.
This is... You guys probably should have seen this one coming, given my track record of videos. But you know what? If you haven't by now, you're in for a treat with this one. Hoffy1138 released a YTP this week. MLP YTP, to troll a griffin.
Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I mean, knowing YTP.
Here's the link. And I'll mute the call now, and I'll be back shortly.
Sweet.
And higher and higher. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
My boy, Mom, Star. Dinner. Where there's smoke, English YouTube poo.
I need a favor, Rainbow Dash.
Lol.
Oh, yes. Hey.
We did order a giant trampoline.
You are so... Hey, Dash. Think you got enough gas? You are so on. Hey! I don't think so. Oh, never mind. There is no way you can. So make like a tree. Buzz off!
It's leave, you idiot. Make like a tree and leave.
So, you sure that Rainbow Dash is... I mean... yeah! Well, I think Josh... Josh! Yes, Josh.
Oh, no.
Hey! Please excuse me.
I'm walking here.
I'm sorry. I was just trying... I'm sorry.
What?
Don't mind if I... The punch! Hey, I'm a hawk. I'm a chicken. Come on, Dash. We're dashing on this Rainbow Dash. I said...
Harakiri.
You know, Gilda? What are you doing? Not cool. Wow, talk about getting your beauty sleep. Dearest Princess Celestia, today I learned...
Ladies and gentlemen, Hoffy1138's MLP YTP, to troll a griffin. I want to state a fun fact that he posted in here. All of those gun sound effects were made by him. Mr. Toucan?
Yep.
You back? Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Then let's begin the interview proper.
All right.
So why don't we get started with the beginning? How do I know this? What inspired you to start making the X Meets MLP series?
Well, it is kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But basically, a while back in 2012, I was like making like these short videos of like different properties like Sesame Street, Twilight, Tron, all that stuff. And then I thought to myself, what if I were to do something with My Little Pony? And so I tried to came up with like different ideas, like how to make it like a short MLP related video. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I rewatched the episode A Bird in the Hoof, I think. That's the one where Fluttershy takes care of Celestia's pet, right?
Yep.
Okay. It wasn't until I rewatched that episode where I saw Pinkie Pie stole Celestia's cupcake or something. And that got me an idea like, what if I do like a whole video based on that idea? Like Pinkie Pie basically stealing everybody's treats at a party. And so that's where the My Little Pony Unexpected video came by. I mean, I basically have some of my friends provide some of the voices, and didn't really take that long to write the script and animate. I would say it might took like half a month or maybe a full month. I don't recall. And so after that's completed, I decided to upload on YouTube. And then I thought like it would be cooler if I can like share that to EQD. So I sent them a link. And then once you know it, the following day, that video is part of with I think 3 other videos in this one post. And I was surprised how many people actually watched that video, because I was like not expecting like that many people to watch and like enjoy it. I mean, there were some few people that didn't like it, but for the most part, they really like thought that was really funny and such. And they wanted to make me make more videos based off My Little Pony. And quite honestly, I was not like have anything like else in mind when it comes to like future content for My Little Pony. I just thought if I make that one and that's it. But so many people want me to make more. I thought, you know what? I should give them another one just to satisfy them.
More.
And so I think long and hard what my next video will be. Came up with different ideas, but none of them seemed to work. And so at the end, I thought to myself, what if I do something with Batman and My Little Pony? and so I went up with that idea, and there's like, I came up with like different ways and how that's going to work. One of the examples I got was that, well, one of the ideas I had was like Batman would be transported over to the world, but instead of being like his human self, it'll be like a OC of himself. And I can't seem to get like his OC to look right. So I scrapped that idea, and then I thought like, you know what, I'll just make him as his human form. And so I went up with that, and basically what you see is how I wrote this, basically follow what I did was a script, and I was quite surprised I got Rainier Chan to do the voice of Twilight, because I was not expecting somebody like that big to like want to be participating in one of my videos, because she personally sent me an email saying like she would be willing to do some voices, and I was like, that's really neat. So I had her to do Twilight's voice, and then I got a friend to do Flower Dry's voice for that video, and then I pretty much provide the rest, like Batman, Lyron Bonbon, and a pretty terrible Spike impression. And so once that video's done and released, everybody really liked it, and they've been wanting to like see a video of like Spider-Man meeting My Little Pony because of that little joke I had at the very end. And honestly, I couldn't come up with a better way to end that video, so I thought like I should add Spider-Man there as like a little gag of sorts. But people want to see Spider-Man meets MLP out of that. And then after I read those comments, I'll be like, you know what? I should do a series based on like all these different characters meeting the My Little Pony characters and see how they communicate with each other and such. And that's how the MLP meets began.
I'm just thinking back to the Spider-Man meets MLP one. That one was funny.
Thanks. Though I'll be honest, that's probably my least favorite when it comes to my MLP meets.
How come?
Despite being my most viewed video on my channel with, I think, over 20 million views, it's hard for me to watch that because I think it's like the whole thing was a pretty big mess. Mainly because I thought the animation for that one was kind of sloppy, and I just didn't like how the way the story was portrayed, because I wrote like 2 different scripts for that, and the latter one is what I ended up choosing. But the first idea that I had was like the beginning and ending would play the same, but for the middle part, it'll just basically be Rainbow Dash and Spider-Man going off against a Timberwolf.
Timberwolf?
Timberwolf. And so the way, in order to stop that creature, Spider-Man were to like light up a match and just throw it at the Timberwolf so it can set on fire. And then it'll jump into a pool to get it out. And the more I think about it, that will be kind of more like animal abuse in a way. Mm-hmm. So I decided not to use with that idea. So I went with like the more like Spider-Man meeting different characters from that series. And I just hate the Spike voice I gave for that. Luckily, I managed to find. I got Sheila to do the voice for Spike for my future videos, but before then, I couldn't find anybody to do the voice, so I had to like do it in that, I don't know, kind of young voice in a way, but it just sounded way terrible in my opinion. Go ahead. Oh, what? Oh yeah. Plus the fact that I was originally going to have Rainbow Dash fly throughout the whole entire video, but at the time I couldn't seem to get like the wings flapping to look right. So I kind of cheat my way out and just put her on a cloud and say her wings are broken.
It worked.
Yeah, it kind of worked, but I felt pretty bad at myself because that's like taking the lazy route.
She looks cute on the cloud, though.
Thank you. But yeah, overall, if you guys love it, that's great. I mean, it's like my most viewed video on my channel, so that's good for something. But other than that, it's one of those projects where I can't even watch anymore. It's just so hard to like look back at it. Though I will say the only good thing I'd say about it is that I can finally take it out on the recent Spider-Man movies. Because I absolutely hated those films so much.
Which ones? Both of them, or just the Amazing Spider-Man series?
The Amazing Spider-Man series.
Okay.
I'll just leave it like that. They're like the worst comic book movies I ever seen in my life. I'll just leave it as that.
Okay. I do want to ask about the animation itself. Where do you draw your inspiration from? You have an extremely distinct animation style, so I'm curious, where did you come up with it?
Well, basically, the way I start off with my animation, I'll just start off with like the program that I use to animate. It's I use Photoshop and iMovie to create that, and Yeah, I noticed like it kind of does look kind of like choppy in a way, but I kind of like that style because it's more remnants to like Monty Python and South Park, where I get most of my inspiration from. And so I kind of like copied that. And plus, like you said, it's very more distinct when like compared to like other fan-made pony projects because I don't think you ever see anything like that before.
I can't
Sure, it's
say
not.
I have.
I mean, sure, it's not like the greatest animation style, but it has this like certain charm to it. That's the way I feel like when watching like something like South Park. Yeah, the animation isn't great, but I really can't help but like really liking that kind of style.
What is it about that style that you really like? Is there anything specific to it?
It's just like the way the characters act or move or something like that. But what makes it for me is like whether they like use like a live action picture per se, like for example in South Park, where they use like Saddam Hussein. I just can't help but laugh at that because I thought that's like really kind of clever in a way, but I just
You did not go there with Saddam Hussein in South Park. You did not go there.
oh yeah. But other than that, also do you know the show called Mad
Yes.
that aired on Cartoon Network?
Mm-hmm.
I take a little bit of inspiration from that, mainly with like some of the sketches they do there. But
My
I don't know,
Little
something about like,
Warhorse.
oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was.
But yeah, something about like taking like live action pictures and just like work with that animation, like making their mouths move or having their eyes bulge out or something like that. I found that really fascinating, and so that's how I work with like most of the characters, like Batman or what else, House, or all those like live action characters when compared to like those animated characters like the Milo Pony gang.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I'm at with the animation. And did I answer your question correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't quite sure if there's like more to that question or not.
Nope. That's about what I was. That's about what I was asking for there. Speaking of your animations, I do want to talk about the evolution of them. You mentioned you weren't a huge fan of the Spider-Man one, and if anything, I want to talk to you about the video the Joker meets MLPFIM and and ones beyond that. In your early days, I noticed that your Batman and your Spider-Man one, they were. I'll pick on the Spider-Man one. There wasn't too much. Forgive me for what I'm about to say. There wasn't too much of a story to it. It was just them going around meeting the characters and interacting with them a little bit.
Yep.
But your later ones have a more definitive story to them, like the aforementioned Joker one.
Right.
What spurred that on? How did that evolve into that?
Well, basically, I noticed with like when I work with videos like Batman, G3 Scootaloo, and Spider-Man, I noticed they all follow in the same pattern, where just basically said character goes to like meeting different characters from the show and just do some wacky shenanigans and all that stuff. I thought that if I keep continuing doing that, it will feel old and people might like avoid my future videos.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought like I should do something different with like my next one, the Joker meets MLP, and have like an actual plot to it. And it turns out it's actually one of my personal favorites out of the MLP meets. Just how it has like a story I find really great. I use one of my favorite characters, which is Apple Bloom, and I really love Batman. I thought all the jokes in that were like really, really great, and overall just like a fun experience to do.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna say like after that, I just keep continuing to have like more plots within my next future videos.
I have to ask, where did you get the inspiration for Batman to eat the gun? I'm sorry. That reminds me so much of the Yeti from Ski Free. I just have to ask.
Honestly, I don't recall. I think it just like I had it in my mind while I was like animating and be like, as soon as the Joker points a gun at Batman, I need to figure out a way to like get rid of that gun. And I thought, Batman eating the gun right out of his hand. That should do it. Oh, by the way, I should mention that most of the jokes I made in my series are like kind of like last add-ons. So like if I'm like animating something and I thought like, you know, it'll be funny if I do something like this, and then I'll just add it into the plot without adding it to the script. So yeah,
I
that's
need him
the
to
whole
disarm the gun. Let's
Oh,
have him eat it.
Yeah, just grab it and just eat it. No logic, just eat it.
Just eat the gun. Literally.
Yep. Yeah, my videos are like sometimes like questionable, like insanely, because I take for my humor, I take most of my inspiration from like the older cartoons from like the 30s and 40s. Mostly like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, all that good stuff. Because I'm a huge fan of slapstick humor.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Three Stooges as well. I mean, everything that has to do with like slapstick, I'm just a big fan of. I go nuts over that.
What was my question I was going to ask about that? Oh, I remember it now. Take us through the process from start to finish. What goes into making your videos, both in the sense of older ones and the most recent ones?
Basically, for all my videos, including my older ones, I would have to like think it out through my mind first to see how like everything will play out when it comes to like the plot and jokes.
Mm-hmm.
That process usually takes like a while to come up because I want to be able to think through it before I write it down. And so, and once that process is done, I go to like the writing process on like writing down the script. And then there'll be moments where like I have to like pause to think if I need to word that better or not. And then there will be times like for like certain projects like Superman meets MLP or Godzilla, I would tend to have like help from other people to write down the script because sometimes I need to get like a bit of help when it comes to like certain projects like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so once that process is done, I start contacting the voice actors or actresses to see if they want to play each part. And then while I wait for them to send over the voices, I tend to like work on the character models for each new character I created. Like for example, Rapunzel. It took up like 5 to 6 different images just to make Rapunzel look right for this project.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Batman only took like maybe like 3 or 2. And so after I got all the character models created and all the voices, audios recorded and sent in to me, that's when I start the animation process. And depending on how my schedule is like, it's usually vary. Like it'll take like months, maybe weeks, depending how long the video is or if I have much free time to work on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I get all the animation done, I exported all the scenes and then I drag them into Adobe Premiere. That's where I do like the whole editing and adding special effects and all that stuff. And once that's done, I export that and then upload to YouTube, and that's it.
Who do you look for in your voice actors? Have you ever held auditions or anything like that?
Occasionally, I'll hold auditions on my Facebook page, but for the most part, I tend to like look them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think of like I remember like for my Wreck-It Ralph Meets MLP video, I came across. I was looking up for VAs who would be able to do a great impersonation of both Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope. And then I came across this video made by Miss Bunny Swan a while back, and she did like a voice dub between her, and then she had Edward James to do the voice of Ralph. And I thought those two would be perfect for the roles. So I contacted both of them, and they both agree, and that's where we go with that. I usually like try to contact like some people to do the voices, but if I can't find that one right voice for the character or something like that, then I'll hold auditions for.
Okay.
And then like sometimes I would even try to impersonate that voice, whoever that character will be. And if I don't do that well, then I'll just try to search for somebody.
That makes sense. What about? I kind of want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the sound effects. You have some interesting sound effects in your videos. How do you get them? How do you make them? Things like that.
Usually I tend to like look it up on YouTube. Like I know like now recently I tend to use more like the Hanna-Barbera sound effects. But there will be like some like if I were to like some more like obscure ones, like I remember like in my Superman meets MLP video, you know that scene where General Zod like chokes Superman?
Yep.
and he makes that sound.
Yep.
What's funny about that one is like I actually took that sound effect from like this game show where like I guess the contestant like answered a question and it's like Scooby Doo related, and he got the answer right. And so the host of that show like came out and do like a Scooby Doo impression, and he did like a terrible job of that. And it sounded like that. And I thought that was like so funny to use as like a sound effect, and that's how I used it. I usually go for like sound effects I think that like sound more funnier, especially when it comes to like the ones from like the 30s or 40s, because they tend to get their sound effects right. Even though it's like doesn't sound like updated, it's still funny to me to use.
I don't blame you. Speaking of Superman, I do have to ask about, in terms of the characters like Superman or Batman, Spider-Man, the ilk, the characters who have been around for a long time, so they have multiple actors or actresses to them. How do you determine which version to use? Which one do you pick?
Just the version I like the most. Like for Batman, I like the Christian Bale. Superman, that's actually more of like my co-writer's idea to use the what's his name?
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, Christopher Reeves, Superman. And then for Joker, I use the Arkham Asylum because I love the Mark Hamill version of the Joker. Spider-Man is pretty interesting because I went with the 60s cartoon version because at the time I was making that, the 60s Spider-Man meme was really popular. And I thought it would be really funny to use that Spider-Man instead of like the Sam Raimi version. But if I were to like make that now, I would probably use the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man.
Whoever you said the co-writer for the Superman one, or who was it?
Yep.
You can tell
Logan
him.
Reinbaugh.
You can tell him thanks from me.
Oh yeah, no problem. I can tell him that for you. Are you like a Superman fan or something?
Not really, but I'm a huge fan of the Christopher Reeves version of Superman.
Okay. Yeah, he did like most of the research on Superman because quite honestly, I don't know much about Superman myself, but I did know that I get quite a lot of requests to do like Superman meets MLP, and I thought like he would be like the best. Logan would be the best person like helping with that because he knows more about Superman than I do. Same goes with Godzilla because he knows more about Godzilla than I do. And that's another thing when coming up with like these videos, I have to know the source material in order to make these videos. Because if I don't know the source material, then I can't really do much with the video. Because let's say, for example, if I were to do something with Skylanders, I mean, I don't know nothing about Skylanders. And if I were just have the characters appear and like do something that's like not in character, quote unquote, then chances are that people are not going to like it.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on that one.
Because I can't just go into like a property not knowing who this character is or are in a way.
I'm impressed.
It's something I'm starting to learn now than when it was before. Because I'll be honest, when I did the Pokemon Meets MLP video, I didn't really know too much about Pokemon. I know really few things, but not a whole lot to where I consider myself like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up with Pokemon, but not to a point where I'm like obsessed with them or anything. Now, I will say this. I'm like a huge Disney fan. So, yeah, whenever I do like something like a Disney character meet an MLP series, then I can basically do like whoever I want with that. It can be like, let's say Rapunzel, Frozen, whatever. Anything to do with Disney, I'm always like hyped for that.
Tell me more about some of your running gags. Particularly, let's start with the Lyra and Bon Bon running gag. I know you've discontinued it, but I still want to bring it up.
Yeah, a lot of people really want to know what's my beef with them too. And, and my answer to that is I never quite understand how they got popular when it comes to like background ponies. Because with Derpy, I can understand. Dr. Who's understand. But Lyra and Bon Bon, what makes them so special? until I realized that's true. You can see them together most often in like some episodes. I mean, that doesn't really, I don't know. I don't think that really counts. And then there's like this whole thing with like Lyra obsessed with like humans or hands. That part I never quite understand how that even become a thing. It wasn't until like a friend told me that it has something to do with like Lyra sitting down like a human in one of the episodes. And it's like, yeah, she did that, but not to the point where it's like she's officially like obsessed with humans or anything. I don't know. They always annoy me when it comes to like their popularity. So that's how the whole Lyra and Bonbon torture gag began. I don't know, that seems harsh, but hey, it's done.
Hey, they've done it with Squidward. Not very good, I'll say that, but hey, they've done it with Squidward.
Yeah, I know some people didn't really like that running gag, and that's part of the reason why I stopped that. And the other reason is it's hard to come up with different ideas how they'll be able to get hurt. But hey, they got the revenge on my recent video, so it all works.
You still didn't get to go to Disneyland.
Nope, but I wish.
What are some other running gags in your videos, if there are any?
Trying to think. I guess this is not really a running gag, but I noticed with my Batman and Spider-Man videos, Spike tend to get beaten up by the superheroes. Mm-hmm. Which I wouldn't really call that a running gag. It's just more like a coincidence because, yeah, how would you react if you saw like a little baby dragon? Would you just like beat it up until you like stop it or something? I don't know. Nothing against Spike or anything. It just felt like it'll be funny just to see how they would react towards seeing like a little dragon walking around.
Poor Spike.
Yeah, but I didn't really do much with that other than those two videos. And then trying to think what other running gags had. I don't recall doing that much of running gags aside from the Lyra and Bonbon. There will be sometimes where I throw in like a little bit of continuity in between videos. Mm-hmm. For example, it's like you know how like in Spider-Man Meets BwB, you see Rarity being up Spider-Man with the broom. Yep. And then later in Rapunzel Meets BwB, Rarity brought the broom back for briefly on Rapunzel, knowing like she doesn't know if she's like good or bad.
Right. Yep.
And so there's that, but for the most part, I tend to not have like any continuity because I feel like if somebody like new would be like watching this and they refer back to like something like for example with like Godzilla Meets MLP, Sprite briefly mentioned about like how Rapunzel revived him back with her hair, and I noticed like some of the comments were like kind of confused by that joke. And so yeah, overall I don't really tend to use continuity too much per se.
Okay. That makes sense. I can understand why you would do that.
Right. And if I were, it'll be like more like a brief sort of thing. Like I know, like in my the one I'm currently working on right now, I add like a little nod back to Godzilla, but I'm not going to say what it is. It's going to be a secret.
All right. What of all the videos that you've made, which one was your favorite to make from a production standpoint? Which one just flowed the nicest?
Let's see. There's so many to choose from. I would have to say, the Wreck-It Ralph Meets MLP is much more fun because I always love messing around with Pinkie Pie because she is so insane and can basically do whatever she wants. That's what makes it more fun because she's pretty much unpredictable on what she can do. I think one of my favorite all-time gags is where she jumped out from the video onto like the YouTube page itself and then clicked on a different video with Deadpool.
Yep.
That's one of my favorites all-time gags I ever used for any of my videos because, to be honest, that's actually like a last-minute idea I had for the video. I just felt like I should do something with Pinkie Pie breaking the fourth wall in a way. And I thought of like, what if I have her jump out of YouTube?
What if I have her jump out of YouTube? That's brilliant.
That's another way. Yeah. Basically anything that has like Pinkie Pie in it, it's always fun to work with.
I gotta ask. Darn it! What was the question I was going to ask concerning that very gag? Oh, how did you manage to pull that off? Having her, jump out of YouTube. Did you just use a screen cap or something?
Yeah, I did use like a screenshot of like what originally started off as like a screenshot from my Batman meets MLP, but I changed it to it'll say like Wreck-It Ralph meets MLP.
Mm-hmm.
And something I forgot to do for that is like I forgot to like erase like all the settings that's underneath my video because and I forgot like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. Because if you're have your own YouTube page and you're watching one of your videos, you notice like all those settings underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just totally forgot to like edit that out. But yeah, and then for like the annotations, I just add like random videos, mostly from ones that are like made from the voice actors that are in that video. For example, like there's a video made by Miss Bunny Swan or Edward James or
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. But yeah, overall, I would say like Wreck-It Ralph and mostly any scene with Pinkie Pie are like some of my favorites when it comes to like production stuff.
Let's see. What one was your favorite one to make based on the story?
Based on the story, I did mention I did like the Joker, but if I had to pick a second, let's see. Wreck-It Ralph is another one because it's mostly because of like the jokes and that, but not when it comes to like plot. But I really did like the way Rapunzel ended up being because I try to make that more feel like a actual Disney film in a way with it because of like all the emotional stuff at the end of the video. And then, but yeah, I really like how like that one turned out when it comes to like plot wise. I will admit some of the scenes are like kind of like filler in a way, and I wish I would have like made that more shorter. But overall, I like how it all turned out.
Iron Will beating up the Diamond Dog.
Yeah. Originally, that was going to be like the Diamond Dog crashing into a tree, but I couldn't seem to get like the wings to look right when it comes to like hitting the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I just ended like having him crush into Iron Will through a house and just have him like beat him up.
I think that worked out much better.
Yeah, thanks. And also, Iron Will dating that sheep, last minute idea. It's one of those. What would happen if Iron Will dates a sheep? Because I know he like has something to do with goats, and I thought like he has goats for his lackeys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought like if he has them as his lackeys, then what does he do for like dating wise? Date a sheep.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And yeah, those Tom the Cat sound effect noises in the background were just spot on.
Oh yeah, I just love those screams.
All right, we are quickly approaching the end of my questions.
All
We'll
right.
soon be getting to the audience questions. But before we get there, huh?
Oh, I was going to say, quick question. Can I make like a quick bathroom break in between?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Are you going to say something else before we start with the fan questions?
I was actually going to ask some questions I forgot to ask at the start. Yeah, but if you need to go, man, go.
All right. I'll make it quick.
All right. We can still hear you. Can you hear us? Toucan. I guess he can't. Yeah, I'm really gonna hold him over that. This intermission is brought to you by Good Water. Good Water. EJ tested. CQ approved.
All right. I'm back.
All right.
Let me just point out, listen. the lesson to be heard here is try not to drink too much water. I mean, water is healthy for you, but try to limit yourself like no more than, let's say, 4. So yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. I got a good water plug in anyway, so it's all good.
Okay, nice.
Okay, I actually forgot to ask these questions at the start of the interview. I always start out with these questions, and for the first time, I forgot them.
Oh.
What are the odds? It was an inevitability. Anyway, I always start my interviews with what I call the first 5 questions. I think we got the first one out of the way and the second one out pretty well. So we're going to go with the third one, 4th and 5th.
All right.
Please tell me your favorite episodes of MLP.
Like the show MLP?
Yep.
Let's see. Personal favorites. I really liked the season 4 finale with Tirak. That was pretty BA. And another personal favorite of mine is, I know a lot of people don't really like this episode, but Hearts and Hooves Day. I really love that episode. I mean, that's like the only episode I can like watch like endlessly, and it never gets old to me. I don't know, just something about like the way it's all like set up, the characters, the way they act, and it comes very close to not having any of the main 6 in it. Which nothing gets the main 6, but it will be nice to see at least one episode where it's like none of them appear in it. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
But
Any
yeah.
others?
Any others? I did like the episode, I think called The Cuties. That's the one where Apple Bloom has like their first main episode, first episode that's focused on Apple Bloom, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that one. Not much else to say. I did like the episode with Cheese Sandwich. Which, by the way, sorry if I don't know any of the names of these episodes, because I only tend to like watch them once and that's it.
That's fine.
Unless there'll be like some occasions I'll like watch like at least a few episodes more than once, but for the most part with any TV show, I only like watch them once and that's it. But I think that should do with like some of my personal favorites episodes.
Who's your favorite character, specifically from FIM?
Favorite characters from the show?
Yep.
That I'll have it like this. Out of the main 6, Fluttershy, because I can totally relate to her, because I'm a very shy person when it comes in person. Other favorite character is Apple Bloom. She's just a fun little character to watch. And then my last 2 favorite characters are Bulk Biceps and Iron Will. Something about over-the-top muscle characters are always like the best for me. I just couldn't get enough of that, especially Bulk Biceps.
Yeah!
I will demonstrate its voice, but I want to be able to like keep my voice safe for now for this interview. I might save it for later. I don't know.
All right. And then, if it's applicable, do you have any favorite characters from any other generation of MLP?
G3, no. G2, don't really watch that, so I don't really know. G1, I do remember liking Spike from that generation, mainly because he's the same guy, voice actor that voiced Cow and Chicken. Because I remember watching the MLP movie when I was like, I think 7 or 8, and I remember like as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, wait a second, that voice sounds really familiar to me. Oh wait, that's Cow and Chicken. So yeah, Spike and Megan, that's the human character, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's another favorite of mine. I don't know why. She's pretty good. Not much to her other than just like she's very helpful and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say this. Out of all the generations outside of G4, I like G1. That would be my second favorite.
Not a bad choice.
Oh, something also I want to point out, I think a lot of you, you know G3.5 with like Baby Scootaloo and all that stuff?
Yep.
I think most of you are going to think I'm going to be crazy when I say this, but I actually don't hate that.
Trust us. Hang around here long enough, you'll learn to love it.
I mean, I will give it this. It's still bad, but yet it's enjoyably bad. I mean, I just can't help but laugh at all the how everything in that was like so wrong. And I just grown to love G3 Scootaloo in that because this is how stupid she is. And yet, I know a lot of people say like, kill with fire, and all that stuff. And I'm just here like, I just can't help but laugh at her. That's part of the reasons why I made that G3.5 Scootaloo meets MOP video, because I just love G3 Scootaloo so much. Just like how much I want to like make fun of her and such.
Yay!
Don't fall off that cliff.
Yay!
Black.
Is that also why Godzilla went on a rampage through that place?
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate G3 as much as everybody else does, but it's nothing I'll like see myself watching. But I do love making fun of them.
Hey girls, let's go all make a cake for Rainbow Dash! Yay!
I can't help but believe that those voices for the G3 characters were intentionally supposed to be like that.
They were kind of intentionally like that, but they were voiced by a friend, and I mean, she's not into acting that much, but it's always fun to have her every once in a while to do a voice. But yeah, they were intended to be like kind of bad in a way.
And now I'm imagining them with a very deep male-like voice.
Hey girls, let's all go have a tea party. Yay! At some point, I need to bring them back because I just love making fun of them, especially G3 School. I need to start bringing her back more often.
Yay!
Yay, parties, butterflies, and smiles! Yay! Butterflies!
Yeah, she's just. I would say that's like one of my other personal favorites. Just that MOP meets up G3 Scootaloo. I just had so much fun making that one.
That creepy zoom in. I know that was pulled from the source material, but
Right.
it's still creepy.
Party?
Boom.
Party, party, parties!
Okay. So yeah,
Good Lord.
fun.
Indeed they are, Nit. Indeed they are. All right, let's get to the questions now. The audience questions.
Ooh, nice.
Go.
All right.
All right. Alicorn Texas Boy asks, how long have you been making YouTube videos overall?
I started back in 2008.
Mhm.
I mean, that's when I started my channel. And before then, I didn't really make a whole lot of content. It was just more like, I guess, like very minor videos or something like that. I don't recall what they were. But I do know, like, when I first started animation, it was back in, I believe, either 2009 or 2010. I made, like, this short video that's like a parody of the Duck song. You know what I'm talking about? Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da. The dog walked up to the lemonade stand. You know that video?
Never seen that one.
Oh, you should at least check it out at least once. It's not really great, but yet it's interesting to watch.
All right.
Well, anyways, I made that video, and then that got like pretty popular, but I had to like take it down because the guy who originally wrote that song told me like I shouldn't be able to have that parody up because it's like not safe for kids. And yeah, I should admit that video. Usually, some of my videos I made back then are like not really meant to be appropriate to kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I quickly changed that for my feature videos because I made it for like all ages, basically. So, yeah, to answer that question, I've been around for YouTube since, let's see, if it's 2008, that would have been 8 years, I think.
7.
7 years, yeah. But again, I didn't start making videos like the ones you currently see right now on my channel around since 2011, I believe.
That was 4 years ago. Feel old?
Not really. No.
You're
Still in
lucky.
the process. I mean, I was like, I actually graduated from high school when I first made that first MLP video on the My Little Pony Unexpected video.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I kind of felt pretty old by watching that one, but yeah.
Let's see. Next question. I'm gonna. Epic Pwn Time Extreme asks, "Have you known any Broadway?" Let's see. Broadway musicals. Do you know of any? And if so, which ones are your favorite? I'm going to reword it a little bit.
Okay. Oh yeah. For Broadway musicals, recently I went to New York about 2 years ago, and I saw three of them, which are Phantom of the Opera, The Spider-Man, and Rock of Ages. I think that's it, right? Rock of Ages, where they do like the 80 songs.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I saw those three, and out of those, I really did like the Phantom of the Opera the most because that's like a classic.
Mhm.
And then at some point when I was like very young, I think like 5, I did remember seeing The Lion King on Broadway, which I thought that was like pretty awesome. So, but yeah, those are the ones that I saw. The ones that I really want to see are Wicked and The Book of Mormon, because those two look very good from what I heard.
Okay.
But, oh, by the way, I should mention that the Spider-Man one was pretty weak.
Oof.
I mean, I know the production behind that, and it was all right for what it is, but for the most part, it was eh.
Let's see here. My Brony Side asks, if you had a pony Sona, what would it look like, and what would its cutie mark be?
I'll be honest, I don't have a OC or Pony Sona because I don't feel like I want to like stand out a little bit more because I used to, but it didn't look that great. And so my Pony Sona now, or I shouldn't say that, is a toucan, which starting with Rapunzel Me Zombie, I have like this little intro in my videos where it shows like where it says a ToucanLDM presentation. It has like that little toucan on the, I think on like one of the words or letters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, I know.
That's basically my OC, just that toucan.
It works.
And yeah, it works. I mean, it's a little bit. Sure, it may not be like a pony or something like that, but hey, it's different. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
No.
And as for my cutie mark, well, birds don't tend to get cutie marks. But if I were to have one, maybe like either a toss up between a video camera or the Mickey Mouse head.
I like that one.
Because as I mentioned before, I'm a huge Disney fan. And as for the video camera, I tend to do like a lot of video shooting when it comes to my personal job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at with that. So yeah, that's my Pony Sona and cutie marks. Though I shouldn't call it Pony Sona, I should call it Bird Sona.
Or Toucan Sona.
Yeah, that works too.
Twilight is Magic asks, we kind of talked on this one, but I'll ask it again.
What was it?
How long does it take to make a typical X Meets MLP video from start to finish?
Yeah, like I said, it really depends on my schedule when it comes to like my personal job or personal life, and whenever I do have like the free time to work on it. It doesn't really. I mean, usually one scene would take like a couple hours to make, but I can't really give a good answer to that. I would say probably at most maybe like a couple of months. Like I said, all really depends on my schedule.
Sure. Let's see. Already asked that. Button Mash 1973 asks, do you want to make an MLP episode review? I'm guessing like a review series or something.
No, I don't see myself as one of those analysts or reviewers because Honestly, I can't really think much to say about each episode other than that one's good, that one's great, that one's bad, that one's okay. I mean, that's probably like the most I can say about each episode, really.
Okay.
And even the ones that I don't like, I'll be like, you know what, that's not a really good episode, but maybe next week will be better. I'm not like one of those people that like go like enrage and like get furious at like a very bad episode. To me, if I watch like a bad episode according to like the fandom, I'll be like, you know what, that one's not that great, but whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right. So yeah, to answer Button Mash here, no, I don't see myself as like a analyst in the future. I'm more of an animator.
Twilight is Magic asks, Mr. Ben isn't here, so I'll ask his usual questions. Yes, Mr. Ben does that. What two elements between air, fire, water, and earth would you like to be able to manipulate?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say water will be nice. I can easily take out fire.
True.
That's all. Yeah, that's all I can say. Just like water, and maybe a little bit of earth. Doesn't hurt to like lift the ground up every once in a while.
Makes sense. He also asks, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh, Blue Moon, Superman, Cotton Candy. Those are the ones I can think on the top of my head right now.
Do you combine them?
No. I feel like I should only have like one flavor, and that's it. I don't usually tend to like combine them all.
Fair enough. Button kind of already asked that one, so I will. I'll pass on that one.
All right.
Twilight is Magic asks, what do you find to be the most difficult thing about making your videos?
Difficult thing. Usually with each new video, I like to like improve on to make it more better than like the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
But the most challenging one of all, well, sometimes the lip syncing can be kind of challenging because the way I have it on Photoshop, having more than 2 characters on a screen can be a hassle to work with, especially if they all like have a speaking role in that one scene. Like, I'm trying to give a good example. I can't really give a good example right now, but I'm just saying, like, if more than 2 characters on the screen at the same time, that can be kind of hard to pull off. Like, trying to make all these characters, like, move and such or whatever.
I forgot one. What is the meaning to life?
Oh, man, that's deep. Meaning of life. Live it. I don't know. I'm not really... What?
I like that one.
Yeah, just live it. Live life. Do whatever it is you need to do. Don't do anything bad. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Drink water, but not a whole lot of water. And, yeah, that's all I got.
Remember, kids, stay in drugs. Don't do school. And always, always, always listen to your coach.
Oh, yeah.
Twilight is Magic asks, you are now the High Warlord of Canterlot High, a.k.a. the principal. What are your first 3 edicts?
Well, first off, am I going to be a pony?
We'll assume human, since it's at Canterlot High.
Well, I'm pretty sure since I'm there, I will pretty much suck at it because I'm not really good when it comes to stuff like that. So I might do some I might screw up on a couple of things. And I will see myself probably like be banished by Celestia from all the damage I've done. And so I'll be like in the Everfree Forest, all scared and all alone. And then I'll probably have to like defend myself from like the Timberwolves and that alligator thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at, where I stand right now. Sorry. I'm not really
imprisoned in the place she banished you to.
Yep. That's where I stand.
Alicorn, Texas boy asks, Celestia or Luna, and why?
I'll be honest, I'm not really big fans of either Celestia or Luna, but if I was given a choice, I would have to probably pick Luna, mainly because she can enter dreams, which that's both neat and creepy at the same time.
All those comics. All those comics.
Wait, what comics?
Oh, they're harmless in literal presentation, but it falls under they always go down the route of exploring Luna exploring every pony's dream, and of course it's always something like either borderline risque or at the very least it's just creepy about the character, and it's like, why did I go here? There was no reason for me to go here.
Oh geez, I don't want to know. But yeah, I would have to pick Luna. But okay. No offense to Celestia, but I think Luna is more popular in that round. I mean, I'm not like one of those obsessed Luna fans.
Let's see here. This is kind of... I'll ask it. Twilight is Magic asks, if all of your X Meets videos protagonists ended up in the Pony World together, what would it be like?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? Mayhem. That's all I get. No, it's probably going to be Mayhem. Spider-Man, G3 Scootaloo, Rapunzel, Godzilla. Honestly, I don't know what will happen except for Mayhem. Maybe they'll probably like fight each other. Maybe like talk to each other, get personal. Maybe I don't know. That's a toughie one. That's all I gotta say, really.
Why am I seeing Godzilla sitting down for a tea party?
I could definitely see him doing that. Maybe him, Rapunzel, and then maybe G3 Scootaloo were talking to each other, talking about like their personal lives. Like at one point, G3 Scootaloo was like a very brilliant inventor, but then all of a sudden she got brain damage. That's kind of harsh.
Harsh, but man, that's fun. Man, that's funny.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, that's. I think that's what could happen.
Epic Pone Time asks, "What did you think of the season 5 opener?"
Of all the openers, that one would probably be my favorite. I don't know why. It just seems like I can't really give a good reason why that one's my favorite. Maybe it's because I like Starlight Glimmer. That's her name, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like her as the antagonist. Much different than like somebody like T-Rac or Discord or somebody like that. Mm-hmm. She's just a regular pony. And I really like that one scene where Twilight's like trying to give like a friendship speak, and all of a sudden Starlight interrupts her saying like "Quiet!" And I just couldn't help but like laugh so hard at that scene, because I'll admit I am kind of getting sick of tired of hearing all those like friendship speeches and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just find that and for once somebody like tell her to like, hey, shut up. I mean, yeah, friendship is good to have, but like try not to have like a speech prepared for like each important episode about it. It's like, yes, we get it. Friendship is, well, for lack of a better word term, friendship is magic. Bam. That's all we need to know.
Luckily, I have prepared a friendship speech just for this occasion. Oh, all better.
Yep. So yeah, overall, I really did like the episode. Got some laughs, interesting characters, and yeah.
Venher asks, "Are you related to Toucan Sam in any way?"
Maybe. We'll put it like that. Maybe from what I heard, I might be his long-lost cousin.
Venher also asked, "Do you like corn?"
Corn to cob? Yep. Low corns? Yep. Yeah, I just love corn.
Good deal. Alicorn Texas Boy asks, would you like to see Flutterbat return?
Yes, I would love to see her make a comeback because she is pretty neat. She's a pretty interesting choice because who would have thought combining a bat and a pony would actually make something more creepy and scary at the same. Yeah, very scary. Would be pretty neat to see her come back. Plus, I've been thinking about. I can see in my head now, Flutterbat versus Batman. Wonder how that would work.
Yay.
You get out of here. Bam! I'm feeling bad around here. So, yeah. Overall, yes, I would love to see her make a comeback someday. Not sure when, but eventually. We'll see.
Where was I? Twilight is Magic asks, is Toucan Sona Philomena the best ship?
Wait, what?
Is your Toucan Sona and Philomena, the Phoenix, the best ship?
Oh, man, that goes way back. I remember meeting her for the first time, and at first I was a little bit awkward, but then she approached me saying like, "Hey, you want to hang out sometime?" I'll be like, "Yeah, we can hang out. Would Monday work? Sure." And so we hang out together that day. Flew around the whole area, Ponyville, and maybe hang out with Fluttershy for a bit. And then everything was going off so fine until I decided, until this other Phoenix came along, all big and strong and whatnot. And so she left me for him.
Ouch.
And so I'm just there like, but I thought we had a thing together. I mean, we share ice cream and bird seeds and all that stuff. Sure, it's kind of weird for us to eat ice cream, but hey, I mean, it's filled with worms. But no, I mean, things got complicated afterwards, and I don't really want to talk about it.
That's awesome. A little sad, but
Yeah, thanks.
but that was funny. Okay, why not? Venher asks, what is your favorite cereal?
You want to take a guess?
I could, but I'm probably going to be wrong.
You want to at least say it?
Please don't tell me. Fruit Loops.
Yep, Fruit Loops, especially with the marshmallows.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yep, no big surprise there. That's my long lost cousin in the box.
Chopped up into little grainy granules. Harsh.
Yeah.
What else do we have here? Okay. Button Mash asks, do you like angry reviewers like the Nostalgia Critic or the Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yes, I do. I especially like the AVG, the Angry Video Game Nerd more, because his content seems like more funnier and pretty much unexpected at times. Though with the Nostalgia Critic, I started liking them in the beginning, but with this more recent stuff, he's kind of like starting to fall flat in a way. Like I pretty much come to expect like his jokes and all that stuff, and sometimes it can be kind of boring. I mean, I'm not saying nothing against him or anything. It just seems like he needs to start like I don't know. I don't know. It's more like he needs to come with like more better ideas when it comes to like his jokes wise, because at times they are pretty predictable. But yeah, overall, I do like Angry Video Game Nerd much more better than Nostalgia Critic.
Needs more Bugs Bunny beatdowns.
Yeah, what's up? Ow! Sorry, Bugs Bunny. Still love you.
Twilight is Magic asks, what kinds of fan content in the Brony fandom do you like the most?
Let's see. I will watch fan animations by some of the animators out there. And then I do listen to like some of the fan fictions. I mean, I don't have like time to like sit down and like read most of them. If I want to listen to a fan fiction, I was like look up on YouTube for somebody else to read it, so that way I can like work while listening to that. And I have to say, some of my personal favorite fanfics would have to be Riot Discord and Milo Dashi. I mean, I'll admit, Milo Dashi, no, in all my life, never have I cried so hard at anything. I mean, I cried even more than Toy Story 3. I mean, that's how powerful this story is. And now I would never expect something that's My Little Pony related to make me tear up so badly in my life. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I read it.
Yeah. Though I won't get into details like what are like the worst fanfics I ever read or listened to, because some of them that I listened to are yeah, no comment.
Let's shy away from that one because we all know what it always boils down to, but let's not go there.
Right. Anyways, next question. But yeah, actually, before that, overall, yeah, I do like some fan animations and occasionally a fan fiction, and some artworks are nice too. I look up some of the artwork, and yeah, I think that's, and oh yeah, music as well. I don't listen to too much of the Brony music, but I do listen to some of them, and they all like sound really nice. Can't really pick any favorites, but they all did a good job.
Okay. Let's see here. Next question. Why not? Nittany Discord asks, do you think you're pretty?
Do I think I'm pretty?
Yes.
Let me look myself in the mirror. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it didn't crack, so that's good. But yeah. No, I'm not like one of those people that like look myself saying like, oh yeah, who's hot? I'm hot. Yes, you are. I'm not one of those people.
Fair enough. Let's see. I'll save that one for a little bit later. I do want to kind of dance around a couple questions here. Mr. Ben is asking this question, but there are a couple of others who are asking this one. Do you have a Steam account? Like, do you game on the PC?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't really do much with video games. I mean, the most that I'll do is like at home playing like Smash Brothers and Grand Theft Auto. Other than that, I don't really do like streams or anything that involves like playing video games online, because I don't really have that much time to do that.
Who's your favorite Smash character to play as?
And all the games, or
go ahead and list however you feel comfortable.
all right, I'll start from the very beginning. The original Smash Brothers, Jigglypuff. Smash Brothers Melee, Jigglypuff, Mewtwo, Donkey Kong, and Mr. Game & Watch. Brawl, Snake, Jigglypuff. Can't really think of anybody else for Brawl. And then for the recent game, Smash 4, Jigglypuff, Villager, Pac-Man, and Duck Hunt. Especially Duck Hunt. I love using him.
Why?
You can't go wrong with the classics.
Bark, bark, bark.
But yeah, I just love the Duck Hunt game growing up when I was a kid. And his movesets in the game are pretty creative in a way. All relate to all those like point and gun games for the Zapper. And I just love his final smash. It's just over the top craziness. But yeah, if I had to pick one character from all the Smash Brothers games, it would definitely be Duck Hunt. That's like absolute favorites.
I still can't believe that's in there. I just, honest to goodness, cannot believe that's in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty speechless myself. It's like, really? How's that gonna? I mean, it's awesome, but how's that gonna work until I actually play?
That's just it. It's like, how is that gonna work? But hey, if they can pull it off, they can pull it off.
I mean, knowing Sakurai, he can pretty much make any person a fighter. I mean, look at Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah,
actually,
if they can put the Wii Fit Trainer in there, then I'm pretty much convinced they can put just about anyone in there and they'd make it work.
Any character is possible. Maybe even, I mean, if they can make Rob a playable character, then yeah. You may never know with like any of these games.
Just wish they wouldn't clone so many characters. That's the only thing that irritates me about the series.
I can understand why, but yeah, that does kind of get annoying. I mean, I don't mind clones so much, but the only clone that I absolutely hate is Dark Pit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he could have easily been an alternate costume. I mean, sure, there's like that one attack he has that's different, but still, that he could have easily been. I could go to a rant about this, but I don't feel like ranting.
Yeah, let's go.
The most I can say is like, why?
Because
more slots.
Apparently,
I don't know.
Where was I? That answers that. Okay. Twilight is Magic asks, do you watch Pony episodes live? Or let me back up this one. Do you watch them on TV, on a live stream, such as on our site, or later when they're uploaded, like onto YouTube?
I watch them on TV because I do have Discovery Family. And yeah, I just watch them through there. Actually, what I do is like I record it because usually I tend to like not watch any TV in the mornings. So I usually like save it for like later when I'm not too busy. And yeah, I just basically watch it through there and then I'm good to go. That's how I am with pretty much any TV show. I just record it just in case if I were to miss it.
Mm-hmm. Wonders of modern technology. And I mean that in a good way.
Yes. I mean, if we were like in the 80s or 90s right now, then we're basically kind of screwed unless you like record on like VHS or something.
Good old VHS tapes. Yes, I do have a few recordings of some shows still on them. Deep and hidden somewhere in some bowels of my house. But they're there.
Any shows in particular?
Let's see. The only one I vividly remember is I got two of them that I can recall. I remember recording The Secret Box and Band Geeks of SpongeBob.
And, nice.
And my brother and I were frantically. We unfortunately had to split the episode "Free the Future" of Dragon Ball Z amongst two tapes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm so glad we have that episode. For what it's worth, that was a damn good episode. Still is my absolute favorite episode of that series. But this show isn't about me, so let's get back to your questions.
Right. Sorry about that.
No problem. Let's see. You are all going to pay, especially you, Venher. How many chucks can a chuck chucks wood when a chuck chucks the wood out of Chuck Norris?
0? I don't know. That's the best I can do with that. I mean, Chuck Norris, I mean, I don't want to mess with that guy. Next question. Sorry.
That's okay. Where was I? Didn't really ask this one. Okay. Alicorn Texas Boy asks, what would you like to see in season 5 or 6?
Oh yes, there's one thing that's in the back. Well, actually, two things that are back in my mind that I want to see from the show. First off is sea ponies. I mean, come on, they need to be at least one episode.
And they need to say Shooby Doo somewhere.
Right, that would have been awesome. Sorry, that's like my G1 bias there. And then, second off, have you watched the movie Fantasia? Or have you seen it?
Yep.
Do you know that one segment with all the mythological segment where it has like all like the centaurs and things and stuff and all like the gods and such? You know that segment I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Kind of. I've only seen it once, and even then it was... No, I saw it all, but I don't remember much of it. However, I do know that part that you're referring to. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, like, there's this one character from that segment. It was like a cross between a mule and a unicorn. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, I want to see that thing in MLP someday. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but let me see if I can find it. Yeah, if you can, like, it's like a cross between a mule and a unicorn. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, that's strange, but I want to see that in the show someday. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's not really a mythological creature, but you may never know. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to see either one of those two. I doubt, but we'll see.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
A mulicorn. Twilight is magic. Where was I? I think we kind of answered this one. Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay, so pass?
Yep.
Or, okay.
Going on to the next question. Alicorn Texas Boy asks, if you had the money, what location on Earth, where would you like to go?
Disney World. I mean, I'll be honest, I've already been to Disney World at least 9 times before. I've been to the one in Disneyland, California, at least 3 or 2 times.
Jeez.
And believe it or not, I've actually been to the one in Hong Kong.
Really? Tell us more about that.
It was back in 2008. We went to a family trip up there. It's mainly both a vacation and work business in a way. Mm-hmm. So we stayed up there for like 2 weeks. The first week we stayed up at Hong Kong, and then the second week we stopped by Vietnam. And it was a really fun experience because that's like my first out of country place I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. And basically the first thing we did at Hong Kong was went to Hong Kong Disneyland. And when we went there wasn't really much you can do up there because it was still kind of new at the time. So there's like, I think we only went to like a few of the rides. Like I do remember going on It's a Small World, the Winnie the Pooh ride.
I've never been to
Space
Disney
Mountain.
World, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was going to say, like, it's like, well, first off, I'm surprised you haven't been to Disney World. I mean, you got to go there at least once. But yeah, like I said, I'm like a huge Disney fan, so I know most of these things.
Okay, fair enough.
And so, yeah, basically after that, we just basically like tore around Hong Kong. We went to like different places. We stopped by at McDonald's there, went to a massage area. We did take a mud bath at Vietnam.
How was that?
Interesting. Wasn't a fan of it, but it was interesting.
Kind of one of those, I now have a different view on life for doing it, but don't care if I do it again?
We'll see. I was young back then, and I wasn't really into that mud bath so much, but maybe now, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if I go back there. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Maybe in the future.
Okay.
And other than that, I think we just did mostly tour sightings, and I can't really remember too much from it, aside from the ones I mentioned. But I should mention one of the meals we ate is like a full chicken with the body and head. Yep.
No, trust me, I like chicken, so I'd eat it.
Oh yeah, I do remember my brother eating the actual head part. So yeah, that's all you need to know about my trip to Hong Kong. Really fun trip.
I like that. Let's see.
I think I answered that question.
I hope so.
Yeah. If
You
not,
did.
then I'm sorry.
Twilight is Magic asks. No. Twilight is Magic asks, what do you think of the Equestria Girls series? At least in the sense of the 2 movies that have been released.
You know what? I remember like reading the news about that a long time ago before it was released, like saying they're going to do something with that. My first reaction was, huh, that's different. Can't wait to see how they work out with that. But it seems like I'm not one of those like people that are like enraged by that because, come on, let's be honest. This show is still meant for little girls. It can basically do whatever they want with it when it comes to like their demographic. So I don't really care that much. But when I remember watching the movie, saw the first movie in theaters, and it was all right. I mean, nothing really great, but I still like it. I mean, sure, it has some flaws, but it was pretty interesting to see how they work out with like human characters in that. Though I will say the second film, I didn't really like that much. Despite everybody else loving it, I didn't really care. I didn't really care for it. I mean, the villains are not interesting, aside from that blue one. What's her name?
Sonata,
yeah. She was pretty funny. I really didn't like Human Rainbow Dash in that. She was really annoying. Trixie just seemed like a character, like, I don't think she was really necessary for that film, to be honest. And overall, I just didn't really like the whole Battle of the Band plot because it's pretty predictable and it just seems like I'm just not a big fan of those kind of stories. The only good things I can say about that one is I like how they handle Sunset Shimmer, and some of the jokes got to laugh at me, though only minorly. But overall, I just didn't like it. Not hate it, but more like
don't care if I ever
like,
see it again.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting to see how they do the third one because I know that's focusing more on sports, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that one will be more interesting, but we'll see how they take it.
Okay.
So overall, I don't hate the Equestria Girls, but it's more on like the decent, it's more the sides.
Hey, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it.
Yep, everybody has different opinions.
Let's see, where was I? Oh, Rainbow Dash number 2 asks, are you going to any cons in the future?
As of right now, none are really planned. Though I'm going to see if I can try to go to BathCons next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really have that much time to go to any of like the pony conventions, mainly because of like work schedule and all that stuff. And the most that I'll go to are the ones like near around my area in Ohio. So I've only been to 3 pony cons so far in my life, and only 2 of them only stay for like 1 day, and that's it. But from when I was down there, it was lots of fun. I mean, got to see lots of new people, and the panels were really fun to sit down and watch, and got quite a few pony merch, and yeah, it was lots of fun.
I gotta ask, what kind of merchandise did you get?
From the ones I got from the cons, I did get this artwork of Apple Bloom. I got this little figurine of Apple Bloom. Like, you know how like they take like the already established My Little Pony toys and like mess around with it, like their hair and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got that with Apple Bloom.
Uh-huh.
I got the Apple Bloom hats. All you need to know is like pretty much most of the stuff I get are Apple Bloom related. So yeah, I think that's like the only 3 things that I bought when I was over there, because I don't go like crazy when it comes to like buying merchandising of My Little Pony. I mean, I'll buy some, but not like to the point where like if I have like my whole office room dedicated to it.
Right.
Because I have my office room like dedicated like pretty much any franchise, though mostly ones are from Disney.
I'm just picturing your office room flooded with merchandise, and there's a little path for you to make your way to your desk.
Kind of in a way. I remember posting on my Facebook page, and somebody says, "Whoa, it feels like I'm in the office of one of the Robot Chickens crew." Yeah, that's like the best way to sum it up. At some point, I need to like show them like the updated one because that picture was old, and I gotta update it because there's like so much more things in here right now.
Let's see, where was I? Venher asks, I'll ask it. What do you think of the ukulele Kickstarter project?
The ukulele Kickstarter project? What's that?
I think that's kind of says all that needs to be said. It's a the team behind the Banjo-Kazooie games. Some of the developers of it, and I know I'm going to get this wrong, so correct me, audience, please. They're starting up a new game, Yooka-Laylee. And the Kickstarter project, they started it up on Kickstarter. That's why I'm...
Okay.
But, yeah, do you have anything to say about that? And if so, do you?
I think now you mention it, I think I know what you're talking about now because it has that lizard character, right? Am I wrong? I do remember like some kind of like gecko creature on the cover, and it's like Kickstarter for this project. And I mean, it looks like something to be interesting, but I don't see myself will actually play it in the future. Because like I said, I don't really play video games too much aside from Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know like pretty much all the video game characters, even the ones that I don't play, but yeah, I'm just not a big gaming fan in general, so I don't see myself playing that in the future. Sorry.
That's okay. Not everyone has time for them or a care for. All right. Okay. Mr. Ben asks, would you be interested in taking in volunteer voices for your videos?
Volunteer voices, like voices for my videos, or
yeah, for like if someone were to say, "Hey, Toucan, can I be in your video to do a voice for?" I don't know.
Okay.
We'll say Batman. Would you take them?
Depends on how really good they are. If you want to know, like, if you want to follow up for like that kind of stuff, I suggest liking my Facebook page because that's where I like held up like auditions and all that stuff. I think that way it'd be more easier to tell if like you'll be like good and qualified to be part of my videos or not.
Okay.
I mean, I can't just like, I mean, I know I got that quite a lot, and I can't really like determine unless I hear like a voice demo or something like that. Because I do tend to ask people to send me like over like their voice demos to see if they're like qualified or not, depending on like what kind of parts I'm looking for. So the answer to that question, just follow my Facebook page.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Dark92 Enigma asks, now that you have the Hardcore Kid, Huey Toonmore, and Rowdy C to do cameos in your video, do you have anyone else in mind for a future cameo?
You know what? Not in the plans right now. I mean, there could be potentials, but I can't really think of anybody right now. And if I were, I have to like ask them first and see if they're like interested or not.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I don't have any cameos planned out. Maybe, maybe not. You may never know. All in secrets.
Let's see. Okay, I'll ask this one.
Okay.
We're approaching the end here. But Mr. Ben asks, speaking of Disney World, have you ever seen any of Swoozy's videos of when he used to work at Disney World?
I'm trying to think who that guy is. Is it the one where like he demonstrates his work by like animating or like pictures like animated with like those big heads or something like that? I'm trying to think.
He retells some of his anecdotes from working at Disney World with a few animations. They're not the most amazing animations, I'll say, in the sense of like I think he intentionally keeps them a bit pencil-y and simple, just for various reasons. But
because I'm trying to think if I remember watching that or not. There's like some YouTubers that I can recognize, but sometimes their names slip off my mind.
mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, I don't recall if I ever did watch them or not. If I might have, I would have like say something, but yeah, sorry, I can't remember if I did or not.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yes, Mr. Ben is confirming. I've only seen a handful of them. Swoozy's a black guy, and he does indeed use animation with large heads and the like.
Okay, then yeah, now I do remember that guy now. I do remember watching a few videos back in like a while back, and they're pretty interesting, I would say. I especially like the story where you mentioned about like this one guy who was like obsessed with like the Hunchback of Notre Dame or something like that.
Yep.
That one's pretty funny.
Dude,
The lips.
do not tell him you want to draw Aladdin, and do not take no for an answer.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, I like.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like, yeah, that's all I gotta say about it.
Approaching the last 5 minutes here, so let's get the last of these questions in.
All right.
Okay. J.E. Smith asks, what's the most unhealthy, heart attack-inducing food you've ever seen?
Oh man, pretty big burgers, and by big I mean both wide and height.
Those are so good.
I mean, I can't do anything like that. And also, I haven't tried it, but I see like ads for like this hot dog on a chicken tender bun from KFC. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I think that's kind of pushing it. I mean, I might try it, but probably only once, and maybe one and a half. Oh, no, wait. I meant maybe half of one. That's what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But yeah, that's like the most that I saw.
Okay, I'll ask this one. Alicorn Texas Boy has a couple here. What's your
Okay.
favorite fast food company?
A tie between Wendy's and KFC.
Ooh, good choices.
Yeah.
And are you a day? Three. Are you a day or night person?
More, pretty both. I usually work on my stuff on nights, and then I'm usually okay at day. So it's more like either way works best for me. Though I don't stay up like very too late. Like I think the most I can stay up to is like 1 or 2 in the morning. That's about it.
Okay. And last question from him. Apple, Google, or Microsoft? Not sure what he's asking specifically.
Apple. I mean, I have an Apple computer right now. I have an Apple computer at my work. Pretty much anything Apple related.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And that's it from the audience. I do have a few more questions for you.
All right.
And don't take this one the wrong way. I always like to cap the stream with this question. What
right.
are your future plans for various things? What is your future plans? What are?
Well, for my videos, for my YouTube videos, I'll like to keep that more of a secret. I mean, I'm still continuing the MLP Meet series, though I'm not going to say who they're going to meet. It's all more like surprise. And for my very last one, which I'm not sure when I'm going to get to, I'm definitely going to do on that one for like a character I got like the most requests I ever gotten when it comes to like people ask me to do this certain character. I mean, the #1 most request character I've gotten, and I want to make that more special and big, but I'm not ready to do that one just yet. So I'm like still working up towards it.
That makes sense.
Yep. Again, I'm not going to say who the character is, but you'll just have to wait and see. Not sure when, but gotta be patient.
Anything else?
That's about it for my videos. And basically, I'm good where I'm at when it comes to like personal stuff. I mean, nothing's really new, so we'll just leave that as that.
Sounds good to me. All right, then let's wrap this up, shall we?
All right.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Mr. Toucan, for stopping on by.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me for your show.
Hey, the pleasure's all on this side of the screen. Believe me. Folks, join us again next week as we look at the Rarity microcomic. We'll be going through it as always, reading it and critiquing it at the end. Things will be a little bit more normal in terms of the content. We're going to be playing catch up next week for some things. I'll say that much right off the bat right now. But I don't hate that. Anyway, as I said, Rarity Micro next week. And until then, we want to thank you all for stopping on by on behalf of myself, Twilight is Magic, and Mr. Ben. Thank you all for stopping on by. Once again, farewell.
Yep. See ya.